In lieu of our normal coverage of previews this week, I actually have something special to bring to you. I have 2 cards of exclusive previews of Set 6 Star Wars Unlimited Secrets of Power ready to show to you today, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going in on these relatively blind specifically because it's been a very long week for me. Thank you very much to FFG, Jack, and the team over there for the opportunity to showcase these 2 previews for SWU. HARK, we are here. It is time for exclusive preview coverage. Let's get at these 2 cards. The big aspect of Secrets of Power is officials. A secondary aspect, however, is droids. We have one of each. So let's take a look first at Populist Advisor. This is a 1-cost Vigilant Heroism ground unit, 1 power, 4 health, New Republic, and official. New Republic. When an enemy unit deals combat damage to your base, this unit gains Sentinel for the phase. This is an uncommon number 41 out of 264 in SEC. Right off the bat, this probably isn't going to be something that's going to see a lot of play in Premiere. It actually has some decent stats for a 1 cost. You normally see this on unique units, but 1 power, 4 health does at least allow him to stick around a little bit longer than other units at 1 cost. However, because competitive has actually changed, this guy might be really good in draft and sealed. If you have 1 or more of these on the board and your opponent damages your base, they're going to go for the big attack because they know this is here. But if they can't clear this, then they have to attack into this thing on their next attack in order to be able to actually continue dealing damage to your base. It's one of those, you leak a little bit of damage, but it also allows you to soak some of the other damage, and that's really good for a 1-cost unit. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a blue theme for officials that allows you to use this a bunch, and because it is an uncommon, it's not going to be very common to see, but it might be common enough, like some other uncommons we've seen in draft, to be very good to pull. If you see one, just grab it and go from there. Next, we have ourselves Unruly Astromech. This is a 3-cost cunning ground unit, 3 power, 2 health, droid, hidden when defeated exhausted enemy units. This is a common, number 221 out of 264 in SEC. This is another one of those interesting cards. I'm not entirely sure how well hidden is going to work within the game overall. Hidden kind of defeats the purpose of the when defeated, but ideally Unruly Astromech comes into play on your 3. You have him ready to go for your 4. You can attack into one of your opponent's units or to basically kill it. Hopefully you can kill that unit or at least get it close to being removed from the board, and then exhaust another enemy unit effectively. If you can get the kill with the Astromech, it's a 2-for-1. If you can't, it's like a 1.5-for-1. It being a common, you're going to see this a lot. It being a single aspect, you're going to see this a lot. This I do also think is probably going to be a relatively interesting draft choice for Cunning, because Cunning does have a lot of exhaust outlets in this specific set. We've seen a bunch of them. And having more access to that is always going to be good because it is going to slow down your opponent. And if you can slow down your opponent enough, you can recover from any sort of large attacks they've done to you or stabilize beyond what your opponent is potentially expecting with those exhaustions. So I think this is actually a pretty decent card. Once again, probably not something that's going to see a lot of competitive play in terms of constructed, but in draft, don't be surprised if this thing ruins your day by knocking out 2 of the things that you have. Beyond that, these 2 cards, interesting designs. And again, because draft is actually important for competitive, it is something that I'm going to be thinking about moving forward. We'll have to see exactly how these work out with some of the leaders that we've seen. And I know I haven't gone over anything as of yet, but I do plan on making a relatively large video covering some of the more important previews closer towards the end of the month when I'm not run ragged after working for a bunch of days in a row. I'm not really seeing a lot that really sparks some interest, but there is still some stuff there that should be pretty cool, and we'll just have to figure out all that as it comes. So, and there you have it. 2 fairly cool draft previews. Draft chaff is the term we definitely would use for this, but draft chaff actually will serve an important purpose once again, as I've stated, because draft is now an official part of the competitive circuit for Star Wars Unlimited. So get those drafts in. When you have your draft week, stop into your local store, do a draft Secrets of Power, because they are going to be important moving forward, and then with the next sets, obviously, leading up into the Galactic Championship next year. And I'll be very interested to see how they choose to do the format for the GC next year. Hopefully it's not just all the way through constructed / premiere, whatever. It'd be interesting to see some trilogy format, probably not likely, but definitely want to see some premiere mixed in with some draft. to have the true competitive experience for Star Wars Unlimited going through the Galactic Championship. But once again, thank you very much to Jack and the team over at FFG. Once again, congratulations, Jack, on the position. I really appreciate the opportunity to preview these cards. I will have another thing coming out either during the weekend or at the beginning of next week that'll showcase a new product. Hopefully you'll be able to check that out once I'm finished making that video. But that's all we have for you today. Thank you very much. Look forward to the other Star Wars Limited stuff as it comes out. Like this video, comment down below what your favorite preview that you've seen out of these two is. Honestly, I think the droid's pretty cool because it's a cool droid type. Subscribe to the Star Wars Unlimited channel for all of your Star Wars Unlimited needs. I've been RybackStun. You've been my amazing audience. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next one, and I will see you in the stars.